Hi everyone, American Horror Story Apocalypse. We know it's going to be a crossover season featuring characters from Murder House and Coven, which are incidentally my two favorite seasons. But although Ryan Murphy has shot this season in secrecy, we can already figure out a lot from what we've seen so far. So in this video I will talk about clues, connections, and theories which may explain how American Horror Story Apocalypse plan to go forward and exactly what the hell is going on.
What's happening out there?
It's all gone.
Everything.
We already know that each season of American Horror Story is connected through a complex timeline, starting in early 50,000 with Ronaki and Lady Gaga eventually becoming the first Supreme, and ending in 2022 Halloween night with American Horror Story Hotel. However, creator Ryan Murphy has stated that American Horror Story Apocalypse takes place in April 2018, and that it contains a time jump of 18 months, which would place the events occurring in Apocalypse by April 2021 at max. How is it possible that the timeline of American Horror Story universe finishes off in 2022, but the Apocalypse, which is the end of day, takes place in 2021? One option is that all the events occurring in American Horror Story Apocalypse are all a premonition of Cordelia Good, since she has the gift of sight.
I can see.
And or the witches travel back in time to stop the apocalypse from happening. So far, this is the most accepted theory between American Horror Story fans. Another possibility is that there were no apocalypse at all and it is all a giant scheme by the cooperative to create a new world order shaped by Satan.
What do you think?
Hail Satan.
It does seem quite far-fetched, but considering the fact that Ryan Murphy already played with this sort of twists when it was revealed that Roanoke was a reality show, maybe. Another theory could be that the witches, alongside with any other possible magic and demonic figure, were able to escape from hell once Mr. Langdon, aka the Antichrist, opened the gates of hell and began the rapture. Miss Venable tells the new arrivals that Outpost 3 used to be an exclusive boys' school, immediately drawing parallels to the Academy for Exceptional Young Ladies from Coven. This theory seems somehow confirmed by a clip in which Mr. Langdon is shown performing what could be the Seven Wonders in order to prove that he is the supreme version of an all-male warlock school. We know that witches have a genetic component, and Langdon is related to the Lamprey family that Constance names as distant cousins in Murder House. Mimi de Lamprey was a supreme in Coven canon, meaning that Michael Langdon could have witch blood. Mr. Langdon is a very interesting character and probably one of the catalysts for this season. Apart from the supreme theories, we already know that he is one, the Antichrist. You can see that in the ID badge that he shows upon entering Outpost 3, the digits feature the numbers 666, and 2, Vivian and Tate's son from Murder House. You know, the lovely blonde child that we see murdering Constance's housekeeper at the end of Murder House. However, in American Horror Story canon, he was born in 2012, which would make him, at the time of American Horror Story Apocalypse, 7 years old. I hope it will explain how he aged so quickly, because this bothers me. According to the New Testament, together with the Apocalypse, also come the 4 horsemen, which are released once the first seal is opened. And who do we see coming to Outpost 3 riding black horses?
But tonight you belong to me.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are described in the book of Revelation as 4 riders, often symbolizing conquest or pestilence, war, famine, and death. The rider of black horses is often understood as the horseman of famine, and American Horror Story has made quite a point of showing us the scarcity of food in the first episode, didn't it?
I'm still hungry.
I am so tired of the hunger.
The opening of the seals in the Apocalypse also mark the second coming, which are described by Matthew 24:27, in a way that seems quite familiar, obviously not literally, to the idea of lightning brought upon by a nuclear explosion followed by darkness. And it would make sense, considering we already know that Michael is the Antichrist, to have a Christ-like figure in opposition to him. But who could it be? What about Misty, the character which Myrtle has defined as resurrecting more people than Jesus Christ in Coven? And before you go on with the "but Misty is dead" kind of thing, I would like to remind you that the Supreme has both the gifts of the Shensum and Vitalum Vitalis, to project one soul in the afterlife and bring back anyone. Or it could be a newborn child, perhaps from Timothy and Emily, which have already been compared to sort of Adam and Eve figures in a new world bound to strict rules, and whom Rubberman watches from above while they use a Nepal laptop. They both also seem the only ones so far that have been approached by demonic figures. Timothy sees the 666 digits on the bathroom mirror while he hears a whisper saying beware. And from Apocalypse marketing, we know that there will be snakes, the animal which Satan turns into in order to tempt Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Interestingly though, we don't know exactly who Emily is. We saw when they took Timothy from his family, but Emily was already in the cage when he arrived. She explained how she was taken, but she may be the typical unreliable narrator. She could be not Eve, but Lilith, the first real woman and Adam's wife, who was in reality a temptress demon figure, meaning Emily could have been placed by the Antichrist to tempt and destroy Timothy. Timothy and Emily are really interesting characters because of the way they've been introduced. If we move the Lily theory aside from a second and believe that they're both innocent kids which got taken from their families, this exceptional DNA that they possess could be a witch gene that Langdon, the Antichrist, and the Cooperative want to use to their advantage. The show repeated twice in the first episode that Timothy's DNA was acquired through an ancestry website. And apart from the fact that I personally shivered, because honestly, who knows who has those information, who stores them, and what they do with it, also made me think that perhaps Timothy was adopted. And this was a nod to make us understand that those that we've seen are not his real parents.
So if you could take Timothy, then why don't you take Edward too?
They're not identical.
Or, and I know this is getting crazy, Timothy and Emily have both been chosen because they have alien DNA, the same way that Kid Walker's kids did in Asylum.
I didn't think I could survive it. But it was him.
Although the timeline wouldn't coincide for Timothy and Emily to be Kid Walker's kids, they may be their ancestors. This also would explain why Miss Venable has stated quite clearly that there shouldn't be any unauthorized copulation. Maybe that's because Timothy and Emily are blood alien relatives, and copulation would mean, well, incest. We also know that alien can communicate via radio signals, and during the first night that Timothy and Emily stay in Outpost 3, the song, which previously repeated itself non-stop, changes to the Carpenters calling occupants of interplanetary craft. These are all the theories, clues, and connections which I could think about after the first episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse. I'm sure there will be even more to look for in the upcoming episodes. So if you like this video and would like me to cover American Horror Story again, or if you simply enjoy reviews and video essays about TV series and pop culture, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button.